I need you all to bear with me for like 10 to 20 minutes here, maybe a half an hour, I don't know. Some amount of time between now and task complete of scanning the service manual for that television that I worked on a while ago on stream that was showing pink, but then it turned out it was the Super Nintendo, because last night I was using that TV and it had a horizontal collapse happen. So a repair is in its future. So I am working on scanning the service manual now so I can start going through it to look for parts and stuff. Yay. And additionally, I have not really read through what you all have speculated about on Discord, but you do realize that C1 is a ceramic capacitor, right? The service manual for this television is kind of a pain in the butt. It's got so many fold-out pages, like, oh my god, look at how long that one is. That's just stupid. And they're different lengths. Yeah, technically, sure, ceramics can fail. Yes, anything can fail, but that's feeling very witch hunty. So, I don't know. Properly sized laptop? Laptop. Missed yesterday being in ER. Hopefully nothing bad was going on. Tried to catch up. Seems weird. Yeah, long story short, DECWriter 2 bad. Don't buy one. There you go. Alright, now I gotta figure out how to scan this. That. Thankfully, by, I'm gonna say, pure coincidence here, even though there's a possibility that it's intentional, the hinges here have the plastic bits. There is exactly 11 inches of clearance between those, so I can take this and I can feed it through the hinge and not have to worry about damaging the pages, because I still need to be able to scan into the spine on this. And then we'll just rotate this sideways after we get the spine portion scanned. Using the edgeless? Yep. Scanning Sony Trinitron service manual for my really cool one that is maybe gonna die. I don't know. But I'm gonna try and not let it. We don't have seen have the hinges fully in the way of the paper, yeah. In theory, I could also just take the lid off and put something big and flat on it, but I could also remove the hinges. They're just screwed in. For the Hydro Thunders, no. This is... A long time ago, we did a stream where I took a look at a television that I thought had a pink cast to it, and it turned out it was the Super Nintendo that I was testing with. Still haven't fixed the Super Nintendo, but I've been happily using the television since then. But yesterday, the television had a horizontal collapse happen. So that's not good. It came back after a bit, so whatever it is was probably thermally related, but still marginal. Better than a vertical collapse? You sure about that? I would much rather try and solve a vertical collapse than a horizontal one. Horizontal collapse can be flyback. From the back point at flyback, say ho hum, and that's the end of it. Yeah, I know. What's horizontal collapse? Where you get a vertical line on a CRT. If you have a vertical collapse, you have a horizontal line. I'm feeling defeatist today? Yeah. Like a comically huge laptop? What kind of laptops are you guys using where you have the screen angle where you gotta put your head up like that? For you don't want to be observed. I mean, that's what the privacy polarizers are for. I really have to put the force on this, but it's not helping good enough because this paper is like water damage just around the edges or something. It's like it barely got moist and it's wrinkled. So I don't know if, like, this is a page I just scanned and I was putting pretty good force on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there are, no, you can't see squat. There are wrinkles in it that I'm going to have to try and color edit out, but they're still going to cause some of the lines to be all wavy like, which sucks, but yeah, doing my best. Vertical collapse is weird. Most cheap sets you lose HV, so vertical collapse usually fail driver transistor. Oh gosh, Ben. Ugh. All right. I'm assuming you're saying punt the DECWriter. We haven't fully exhausted everything yet. We're going to come at it from a different angle today, though. Oh, whoops. Tease Majenko about it, yeah. Alright. So many pages. I am over halfway done. I'd say I'm about 60% done on this, so there's not too much left. But you also don't know how long I've been scanning this morning already. Most of the time went into the fold-out giant schematic thing that I have here. Because I had to scan so many times and so many angles to make sure that I got all the overlaps. Also, this is that super ultra thin paper. So this is going so slowly because I'm putting a black sheet behind every single page before I scan it. So it's just not fast. Then you use the paper manual troubleshooting. I don't know. Gonna depend. I don't know how I'm gonna do the troubleshooting on this yet. Because the television lives at home. I kind of really don't want to bring it into the office, but all my stuff for doing, you know, fixing is in the office. Okay. Oh, crazy. A page that's just a page. Wild. Oh, there's 2, 3, 4. Wait, is the whole rest of the thing just pages that are pages? Oh, it is. Awesome. Okay, this just got a lot easier to deal with now. Still have to do the black sheet, but yeah. It's quite a large set. Yeah, I don't remember. Well, it probably says what the size is on the front. 22-inch size. I'm surprised this doesn't say the weight on the front. The answer is yes. Very weight. There we go. 78 pounds. See, I don't really want to drag it all around. The manual is for a Sony KV-2145R. Also known as the television that I thought was pink, but it turned out the Super Nintendo was. Team Lift, yeah. So you stick the black sheet to the lid. Well, the problem is, it's a book. So it's the pages behind the page that I'm scanning that are the issue. So I have to put it between the pages. The lid on the A-Vision is black. Is that a 21-inch PVM-esque machine? It's from 1981. It predates all PVMs. So the PVMs are named like it is, actually. £85. So I think I have a 32-inch Toshiba. That's 136 pounds, if I remember correctly. All right, Ben, I'm wrong. Whatever. I'm like just out of care. Oh, I think I screwed that page up. I'm gonna have to rescan it. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it shifted. Nope, no idea what's wrong with the pink Super Nintendo. It did shift, but not really in a place that matters. Do I just yellow it? There's no zoom button. Oh, it's a scroll bar down here. Oh, maybe it didn't shift. No, those are just the other pages. Yeah, it didn't shift. All right, I'm keeping it. All right. I actually have 5 Super Nintendos. So the pink one being pink isn't like the biggest problem. I have 2 other ones that just do nothing, I think. Or maybe only one does nothing. And then the other, I think it's, do I have 3 working ones? I don't remember. I might have 3 working ones. And then the pink one and one that does nothing. The pink one we recapped. So I genuinely don't know what the problem is, because there's not a lot of parts on it. Wait, did I just scan a black sheet of paper? Yes, I did. That was page 43. So I need to put this here and then actually flip the page. I bet I did flip the page, and then the black sheet pushed it out. Okay, let me fix the page numbering. Okay. TV set on top of a console TV. Set up as the law. Console till worked, but the tube was gassy. Only the red and blue guns worked. Oh, weird. No focus and convergence. The edge of the screen was about 3/4 of an inch out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, PVM is a model designator, yes. But you're also correct in that they're weirdos and they have multiple model names. So all of the PVMs will also have a KV number, as far as I'm aware. Just like this television is a KV2145R, but I believe is also an RM701. So, like, for example, the world's tiniest Trinitron I have is a Sony Profile, but it is a KV 4200, if I remember correctly. There's also a KV 4100 that uses the same tube, but is a kind of lamer model. It's the consumer version of it, whereas the KV 4200 is prosumer because you can take off the tuner and just use it as a monitor, and people in like portable broadcast situations would have used it for viewing like a VTR on a, you know, a shoulder strap. Yes, it is a television. It's got wood, literal wood panels, not like wood veneer. Like, I mean, it's particle board, but it's got actual wood panels on it with wood veneer. So, yeah, it's very much a home set. It's not, I don't know. I mean, I would have to take it apart again, which inevitably is going to happen, but it's actual wood. And brushed stainless steel trim on the front. It rocks. It's RF only, but it looks good enough. Paired with Atari Heavy Sixer. There actually is an Atari Heavy Sixer about 8 inches above it. Yes. There's also an Atari VCS sitting directly on top of it because I like everything. That Heavy Sixer is an actual Atari Sunnyvale. I have a Telegames, but it's missing a switch, so I need to get it fixed. Well, by get it fixed, I need to find a switch, which is not trivial. I also have some CX10s. I should reorder or order some hex discs for them so they can be complete, since there are reproductions of those. Oh my gosh, there's so many. This is the full parts list on this, which is really nice because that will be the thing that I will probably need the most. We are almost done. It looks like 4 pages left. Yeah, mine does have a digital tuner, which 81 is pretty impressive. It also has a remote, which is this thick. It is not acoustic. There's a separate dedicated board in this for the remote. It's awesome. Missed the gesture? Yeah. It's about, I want to say about an inch thick. Like, maybe 3/4, but I want to say it's a full inch. It's ridiculous. Three pages left. Trying to figure out if you're mad at me or not. Yeah, it's all right. I didn't get a chance to listen to the video you sent last night. I was at that time spending 3 hours soldering S-video cables for an Extron crosspoint switch and losing my mind. Only this morning to find that for some reason the Extron is not correctly outputting composite over the horizontal sync line, and I don't know why. That's where it worked at first. And then for some reason, just plugging one of the composite outputs to an RF modulator was changing the video intensity. I don't know. I think there might be some weird grounding stuff in there, so I might have to crack it open, which I'm not looking forward to. Ugh. So, Pin Freak, sorry, are you sure that that wasn't a rear projection television? Because I don't know of anyone who just put a CRT on the floor. But rear projection televisions had a stand effectively built in because they put gargantuan speakers in there. Console TVs, they were not using a console TV in 2013. There's no way. No. Well, Fuzzball, there are definitely console TVs that honestly don't know what it could be. Yeah, was it visibly wood? There were rear projections that are visibly wood. There's one on Facebook right now, DZX. Well, it might be gone because I'm pretty sure, put it to the curb. I desperately wanted it, but it just could not justify it. Oh, the RM701 is the remote. It's got like a little sub thing for RM701 because there's a whole section in the rear for the remote. Yeah, 60 kilogram would make sense for a 32-inch CRT, but putting it on the floor wouldn't make sense. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So plan for today. Yeah, DECWriter comes after. I'm scanning the manual for my TV that I thought had pink video, but last night had a horizontal collapse. Oh, hold on. This has dimensions. 1¼ inch height. I undershot it. That's for the remote. It is big. Sounds like a very fun failure mode. Yeah, I'm really concerned about it because I love that TV to death. Looking through sealed copies of Load, but one wasn't a reissue, it was original. Oh, hello. Did they want an insane amount of money for it? Maybe I'm stopping by. That's a lot of money. Reissues. Yeah, you know what? I'd rather have a reissue for less money. Jeez, why? There's no way that it's the better sounding copy. Being a 90s record, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it would be on LP, Ben. Not having side breaks. So anytime I have an album, EP, whatever, that is only on vinyl and I rip it, And by rip, I just mean record. I always record the needle drops and the side flips. Oh, DZ, I guarantee you, I maybe not spent more on a single record, but on a record set, yeah, I definitely have done more than that. And if Data Discs ever gets Sega to do a full Sonic Adventure soundtrack release, all like 5 hours of it, I am screwed. Because they're cute little baby sampler sets, you know, fine, whatever, but I want the whole thing. Last actual page, then it's the inner side of the cover, and I'm actually going to rescan the first page because I forgot to put the black sheet on there. This is not going to be one that I get to automate processing of because there's so many of those stupid long pages in here. I'm going to have to manually do every single one. Yeah, DZ, I've been waiting for Aziz to get in any of the Prodigy singles, but nope, never. Never seen one. Pretty sure the only Prodigy thing that wasn't like a brand new album I ever have seen there was a Fat of the Land, and I'm pretty sure I discovered recently, because I did buy it, that it was actually a bootleg. And I did buy the, I don't know, was it like 25th anniversary reissue of Fat of the Land when that came out. Okay, one more scan. Oh, man. Why am I tired? I slept better last night than the night before. What about the one of 200 autographed? Ah. I have a couple that I had to hunt down like that. They were autographed, but that was just ancillary because every single copy of them are autographed because they're just super limited releases. There are two, well now three, Freeze Pop vinyls. Sorry about that phrasing. But that just plural of the medium. There's the Bike Thief, there's the Dancy Ultra Fresh, and the Phantoms? I forget what the new album's title is. I haven't actually listened to it yet. Alright, there we go. But Dancy Ultra Fresh and Bike Thief were extremely limited editions. They technically don't want people who aren't like DJs buying Bike Thief, but I think it's been long enough. How's the CD ripping going? We have not gotten back to that because the DECWriter is taking up too much physical space. It has to be sorted next. Okay, there's that. I'm going to run through all of the pages just to make sure that we captured every single page so I don't have to come back and redo this because this sucks. So let's look through everything over here. I can also finally drink some coffee. Oh, my hands hurt from all of that. Okay. Let the fun begin. Sort A to Z. There we go. All right. churning out your own box sets of your content. What, on like Blu-ray? That's never happening. All right. That is a cover. Yep. Okay. Check. That is the inside of the cover. I like how they have part numbers for like every possible resistor. They'll probably just print this on every single thing. All right. And then this is the page. I just rescanned that one at the very end because I forgot to put the black sheet behind it. So that's fine. So 2, 3, 4, 3 again. Oh, I had already rescanned. Okay. So 4, 5, because this gets weird. No, there's no way to, I mean, it can take photos of the disc labels. That's as scannery as it's going to get. So that was 5. And then 6 and 7. I might have cut the bottom a little bit, but we'll live. And then 9, 10, we'll get 8 in a second. There's 8, okay, so 11 is our next target. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is literally a blank page. Like, thanks, Sony. I needed to pay for a blank page in my schematic. No, unfortunately, I don't recognize that one, DZak. Okay. Yeah, this page intentionally left memo. So 18, 19, 20, 21. Ooh. Not amazing on the... I pushed it all the way to the edge. I maybe shouldn't have. But I think we got all the actual content. Let me just make sure. There's a black edge. Wow, it loses a lot on the far side. It's like 1/4 of an inch. All right, so in my defense... Okay, so we are missing some of the word connector down here, but they also went over the edge of the word connector with the black line that traces around it. So we did 829. Okay. Yeah, so it's not my favorite thing. I'm going to leave it though. Lovely map of the board. Oh, it gets even better. This is going to make the computer all kinds of mad. The full fold-out schematic is massive. But this is the layout side. So I'm going to be processing this into like one thing. But yeah, this is the full paper of this. So yeah. Again, the edge got me over here, but whatever. Okay. 21, I'm calling good enough. All right. It's 23, 24. Make sure we get 22. Good. So 25, 26, 27, 28. That's 31, so we need 29. Oh, hold on. We missed 29 and 30. Okay. Glad we checked. Yeah, it's huge. I did it at full 600 DPI for the whole thing. It's massive. All right. So I missed... Yeah, that one's like important or whatever. We want that. All right. Glad I checked. No, not preview. Dang it. It's only like the main board layout image in the manual. I mean, that's, you know, maybe important. Redo the whole thing, have them in sequence? No. Gosh, no. You understand, I'm gonna have to stitch like half of these pages together. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of manually editing on this, no matter what. Are you even entertained getting a flatbed? To be fair, I'm kind of fed up with having to edit photos of docs to be printable. I'm not sure what you mean. As opposed to taking pictures with your phone? Is that your alternative? All right, we should have 29 and 30 now. All right, there's 30 and 29. Okay. All right, so 31, 32, 33, 34, 34. Ooh, I think we had to redo 35. Unless this was the super long one and I did multiple sections of it. Okay, it was a super long one. 35, 36, that's fine. Phone, yeah, I mean, you can get a really cheap flatbed for like photos and stuff off eBay. Like any one of them from like 2005 on is basically exactly the same. So you can go as cheap as you want. And they're all going to be better than your phone. Okay, 37, 38, 39, 40. You can see how the black paper adds like a weird edge on it, but that you can see that also means that it didn't fully go to that side, but that's fine. All right, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, because we're into remote land. Look at that chonker remote. Like what? What? 55, 56. That's right. There's a schematic for the remote. 57, 58. Does it list a weight for the remote? Hold on. Is it so heavy that they list a weight? It does. 56, 57, 58, 59, which is the last page. There we go. All right. That's it. That's everything. I'm good. Okay, I'm going to be putting that together probably over the next week because it's going to suck. All right. Well, I managed to kill 46 minutes of not having to look at a DECWriter. I mean, let's move on to the DECWriter. Yay! All right. I have the service manual for this, but I don't have the real manual. There's like 3 other copies of the service manual on eBay. Zilch for the real manual. Okay. Let's take a step back on the what you call it thing, the DECWriter. the sadness inducer. Okay. So we got like some stuff, and that's what we were looking at. I guess I don't need the foot pedal anymore. Bye, foot pedal. You've served me well. All right. All right, so yesterday we were looking at like everything. It was ridiculous. Well, I mean, the television was absolutely made to be serviced. They did not want you throwing that thing away. All right. So you all are thinking the C1 could be bad. I'm not really feeling like messing with that right now. So we did a bunch of measurements. I'm not really thrilled with any of them right now. We traced stuff all the way back to this, and it was being wonky. And we saw a bit getting set from the character ROMs yesterday, and yeah, that was weird. In theory, though, our control signal is low, which means that anything coming from the logic shouldn't be active. So there's probably an issue around here. Yeah, that's what we're going to do, Ben. But we're going to do other couple of things since we've started taking notes. So what we're going to do first is, and I don't know where the schematic is for the power supply, and this thing kind of like sucks to go through. Let me have a look, see if we can find the power supply. Kate, or what you call it, Dolphin has started doing this thing that is driving me insane where it's zooming in everything, and I don't know why. Also, scrolling both directions makes this bigger. Why? Anyway, let's see if we can find the power supply schematic, because I would like to mark what all of the rails are for the power supply. Okay, so that's a wrong PCB. I know, we're just taking a big old step back even further. Okay, what's this? Why don't they put words that describe things? They're just like, it's a sheet, it's got parts, deal with it. Pretty sure there's only 4, Philip. Let's see. All right, that looks power supply-y. That's an awful lot of 2s and 1s there, Philip. I feel like you're trying to trick me. Well, I have no idea what this is going to. Print motion, return motion. Oh, the whole motor thing. Yeah, we probably want to look at this later. That's not very power supply looking. That's a board. Those are parts. That's the print solenoid control. Okay, power. See, only 4. Philip, I feel I have to break the fourth wall here also, badooms on that. I am making a Star Trek reference. I know there are 5 voltage rails. Okay, where's our 7912? Oh, there's no 7912, so clearly they're using witchcraft instead. There you go, Philip. All right, so let's grab this page. Open with GIMP. All right. I want to measure like all the real voltages. On one of the other ones, one of them schematic ones, this thing, that's it. Shows which voltages go between the things. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. We're missing positive 12 for some reason. Oh, because it's over here. Okay, sure, why not? Okay. Also another 5, because just for giggles. Wait, 2 DF, 2 if used. Oh, I don't know about that. Let's see. Yeah, plus 21's missing for some reason. Oh, it's probably missing because they don't need it on the logic board. That's just for serial. Although I don't know why they need negative 21 over there. Yeah, but Ben, why negative 21 on the logic board? So we can measure positive 21 going to the solenoids, but also... Ugh. But I think it's the the outer ones that are bust. So we can use those for positive 21. So I'm going to go unplug the head, and then we'll try that. But first, I'm going to waste a little bit of time setting up my phone to use as a camera, because I actually remember to bring all the stuff for that today. That way we can get all up in its business. All right. Alrighty, so I need power. Actually, this needs to be on constant power, so where can I plug this in? I don't know what this is going to, but it's probably not important. Alright, there's phone power. And then I need phone doodad-a-majigger. And I need phone thing clipifier. And then I need the arm adapter, and then there we go. Okay. I'm also going to increase the font size on chat, bring the monitor over, and tilt it down a bunch so I can actually read it while I am ever so comfortably sitting on the floor. Okay. All right. So I already ran an HDMI cable over here for the phone. So smart about that. So we get PD, and then we get HDMI, and then we get the thing that goes to the phone. And then pluggity plug. Then we got this, which we put this on. Is that a Famicom cartridge? There shouldn't be one here. If there is, then it should go home. Wait, did I leave Mario World here or something? I don't think I did. Oh, unless you meant this thing. This is a hub that I use with my phone to have it output video and connect to USB for charging. Okay. So now we use the power of magic to connect the phone to this. And by magic, I mean spending $50 on a weird case that has mounts all over it. There we go. So there's that. All right. Okay. In theory, I think that's it. And in practice, why you know work? Um, uh, um, uh, um, uh, huh. Okay. So first I should get rid of that. Should be outputting video. Why is it not? Is this power supply actually doing the power? Maybe. I think it is. Okay. HDMI. Oh, wait. Hey, let's hit the button that's video instead of black. Okay. Boom. So now we can get way up in its business a lot easier. All right. So the head is unplugged. I have not resoldered the new transistor. We actually still have the other one. Is it fully installed? It is fully installed right now, so I guess we'll just leave that for the moment. All right. So we have this. That's the 20 milliamp current loop cable. I don't know what cable control or sends power to this. There's no like power cable here. We get 5 volts. This is data out. This is the, oh, they're piggybacked on that. Oh, great. All right. We're probably going to measure off of stuff up here. Yeah. Because that all looks awful elsewise. Yeah, we're not messing with the big ribbon cable. Screw that. That thing sucks. Okay. Let's measure positive and negative sides of different capacitors and things that we know are the rails. So take out phone. All right. I don't know if the ROM's like not having the -12 while the rest is powered. What do you mean? The only thing that's not connected right now is the head. That's it. Everything else is connected. Logic is running? Yes. If I don't do anything else, I can press the bell and make the keyboard beep. Okay. First measurement will be -12 volts, which we know is connected to a bus here for a bunch of nonsense, so it's pretty easy to check. So I'm just going to clip that there and clip that there. And well, that didn't go quite as I expected. How about we measure DC instead of AC? Okay, that's -24.8. That's a little weird. That might also have the VREF on it, now that I think about it. Okay. Let me try something really quick. What? Why are these not? Wait, these aren't. Okay. What? Okay, I'm pretty sure this should be -21. 24. It's not plugged in backwards. That's the head connector. Why would there be +24 going to the heads ever? That's weird. +21, -21 is not regulated? Huh. All right. Let me do some simpler checks here first. 5 volts. 489. That seems reasonable enough. That's a little bit of a drop, but I'm going to go write that down. Okay. New layer. This is just going to be a solid white layer. Thanks, GIMP. That's exactly what I wanted. Hold on. Can you delete this, please? Add alpha channel, delete. There we go. Okay. Boom, boom. 4.89 volt. Okay. Lower line is -21. So what I was looking at was this, which is, so it's +21, just like I was saying. +21 here was 24 volts. I think we measured negative 21 at negative 24 volts successfully. Hold on, let me go back to... So R1, one side of R1 should be on the minus 21 volt rail. Okay, so minus 21 was minus 24 volts. Okay, so we need to validate 12 and negative 12. My mains voltage is a bit high. Would that be the difference between 110 and 120? Is there a switch? Ah, fun. Okay. Exactly. Yay. Do we think that could be a problem? Might be the first device I've ever actually seen care about that. Yeah, so I'm actually running it through a kilowatt. We can go look at exactly what the voltage is right now. So, all right. Power. And there we go. 119.2. Unlikely to be a huge deal, just bulk power rails, motor solenoid stuff. Okay. All right, now let's find a 12. Also find some coffee. Poot. All right. Wonder what's on these caps. -2. That's not all that helpful. Where can I find 12? That's a 25 volt cap there, so that could be 12. I could go look at that schematic thing and like maybe think a little bit. Or I could just find something like this. It says 25 volt DC. That's probably got 12 on it. And it has 5. Bro, why would you use a cap that is 5 times higher voltage rating? That is a terrible application of a capacitor deck. Shame on you. For safety, no. Use somewhere else in the BOM? It's still really bad. Plus, they have the 12 volt one right there. I mean, it's not the same microfarad value or whatever, but, you know. Let's see. Well, there's a 50 volt. What do you bet that one's 12 volt rail then? Ooh, actually, wait a minute. There's some spicy stuff going on around there. That's where all the mains is. Let's maybe not screw with that. All right, I'll go look at where these connect to the capacitors, because I have a suspicion that the pair of capacitors are negative and positive 12 volts, so we can just measure off of that. There's 2 caps that are in series with a center tap, so it's probably that. So back over here, we've got, where are they? Capacitor filters. Okay, these are our series ones. So 1 is probably ground. It is. 5 just jumps over to 3. 3 is minus 21. Oh. Okay, fine. All right, so then where can we find 12? Okay, let's go back over to this. Okay, that's not that useful. Dude. Okay, that's actually kind of cool, having everyone sign the schematic. That's kind of sweet. I can annotate on my Surface, but it does not automatically send it to the desktop over here where I want to do all the real work, which is, again, why I was asking about a web page for doing that kind of stuff. I am not ruling out me making that page yet. I really don't want to measure on that. So let's see, J4. 6 and 7 should be negative and positive 12. So let's see if we can find a J4. So J4 is that. But isn't this the logic board? Yeah, logic board J4. That's different from other board J4. Yeah, that goes in the motor. We'll look at that in a little bit. Okay, logic board J4. Here we go. Okay, so J4, but that's the UART output, isn't it? Weird. Also, why does the keyboard need negative 12 volts? Oh, I so don't want to mess with this connector, man. That thing, ugh. No. All right, let's look at the schematic for this. Maybe can we find 12 anywhere here? I don't think so. Oh, no. We're going to have to find some kind of random schematic of the power board. Well, actually, let's look at this. So 12, we got Q5, C15. Let's see if we can find that. C15. Wait, that? So that's probably a ceramic. So C15, it's not quite directly off of the rail. I don't want to use that. C16, though, that one is. Okay, and I saw C16 right there. Okay, so we can measure C16. Yeah, let's go measure C16 for positive 12 volts. So there's 3 caps. It's the one in the middle. So it's going to be that yellow one. I don't really see the polarity indicated on here. I think there was a stripe on the right side, though, so maybe that would be positive. Let's find out. All right. Negative 10. I'm going to guess I just have it backwards. Negative 10 still feels a little low for the 12 volt rail. Yeah, I don't like how I'm measuring on this one. Can anyone really quick? Right hand side should be, but it's it has no polarity, yeah. But am I wrong? That should be positive, right? I mean, I don't think we're getting negative 12 on the 12 volt rail. I think we'd see a lot more smoke. I mean, the cap is non-polar, yes, but it's directly on, if you look at the schematic, it's directly on the 12-volt rail. Let me go see if there's a different cap directly on the 12-volt rail. Well, the adjacent caps have a lot of other traces going between them, so I don't think that they're related. Okay, so that was C16 right here. Let me look at that again. No, that was C14. Oh, no. I need the one above the resistor to the left. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I screwed that. The board is not marked. No, they just assume that you can look at it and intuit exactly what every single part does. Which schematic sheet are we looking at? I don't know. It's this one. No, that's the one I want. And hold on. .18. Okay, that's a lot better. PDF page 275, Ben. Okay. Eh. 12.18 volt. Okay. Now, C18 directly above it. Okay. Oh, hold on. I did some drawing here, 12.18, boom, that's what I did. So there you go. Now we're gonna go look at this cap right here, which is here on the schematic going from ground to -12. Positive side is ground, note. Sheet number, there you go, maybe. Sheet 4 of 5, enjoy. I'll leave this up as I walk over there, Ben. Shelby's mic on? It better be. I'm seeing the SRT receive go. All right. So flip these, go to the next cap, because positive is ground. And -12.17. Wow. Okay. -12.17 volt. Okay. All voltage rails checked fine. How do you fix floating ground? You ground? I don't know. Yeah, all power rails look fine. Okay. Okay, give me one moment here. -20 and +20? What do you mean, like plain 20? We already checked the positive and -21. Also, Philip, looking at that TV with the convergence issues, my God. They're needed for current loop. I don't know. What? Is that generated on the logic board, probably? I doubt we need that yet. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that yet. I think we're way far away from that. Okay, so all voltage rails look fine. All right. I'll look out of curiosity, but we're not measuring it. So J4 for the UART stuff. Yeah, it's got power 20 volt rail, so it's got to be like derived on this board or something. Philip, there are different things on this. It's weird. Okay, minus 20. Yeah, those are just like net names. I don't know where those come from or go to. Yeah, I'm gonna not worry about that for right now. Yeah. That's really high up in the logic, like after the initialization stuff. So I could see Ben being right. We'll keep that in mind. I'll even mark 20 volt question mark like that, and save that just in case we want to come back to that. But for right now, I don't think so. Okay, here's what I want to do next. So this is the carriage motor, which has an optical encoder that determines when it moves. I want to see if the optical encoder is actually sending data to or from the logic board, and if that's working at all. So let's think about this. Can we measure across 3, 4? Just hold on here.
Blair Spire subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 43 months, currently on a 37-month streak, and says 43 months help me stay sane. Highlight grind out 1,000. Battle wins in the new Pokemon games. It's tedious and I'm going slightly insane. End of line.
I mean, that's about 1,000 more Pokemon battles than I will have ever done, so. But good luck. Thank you, Flare Spire, though, for the 43 months of Tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. All right. Oh, is that a fuse? F2? Where's that at? Every fuse looks good. I don't know if we can see them from here. Yeah, see, it looks great. Yeah, I can very, very quickly go test that. I'll be right back, I guess. Beep, beep. There we go. Also, there you go. And, okay. All fuses validated. Let's go mark that. I'm going to do that here, just because it seems like it would suck to do anywhere else. Why with the Filled layer. No one wants a white layer to be added. I've just never played a Pokemon game, Flare Spire. That's all. Check, 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 check. Okay. Validated fuses now. You want to check them later too? Addressing chat? Ah, okay. I mean, I assumed that the game about doing grindy battles all the time had reasons for doing grindy battles, so I don't know. Okay, yeah, so I want to see potentially data coming to or from this. So what we're going to do, we're going to go remove the belt from the carriage motor so that we can spin it by hand. And then we're going to see if we can get any data or signal coming from the, I'm gesturing, but you can't see it. Any signal coming from the rotary encoder as I move it. So let's see if we can do that. We'll worry about the motor later. I want to see the encoder first. Well, we can test the motor really quick, actually. Hold on. So, this is the front. And I'm just going to disconnect the meter completely, make sure it's out of there, turn it off. Okay, so if I turn it on, for those of you who may not have seen, we can do Control G and make it beep because there is some functional logic, okay? We can also do line feed, and if I hold the repeat key, that works. So there is logic working, but is... Oh, interesting. It hasn't even... Maybe we should check the motor power. Because that should be doing stuff. I shouldn't be able to do that, actually. I'm curious. Now, there is some wonky stuff down here. I don't know what the deal is with that. Huh. Okay. So, what's going on with the motor? Well, that was F2 on... What's that fuse? Wait a minute. What's that fuse that I happen to know is accessible on the front that some goober could have just yoinked? Okay, now, I know we got all kinds of Bluetooth nowadays, but I don't think we have Bluetooth fuses. So, that's cool. Is there going to be a video on this? Yes, ideally. Actually, that's a good point. For the first time in like 5 hours of work, I just found the first new real symptom. Hold on, I dropped it. For the first time in like 5 hours of work, I just found the first new real symptom or problem, and it's a blown fuse on the front panel that goes to the motor. So let's try and replace this, maybe, and see if it just blows again or what. I don't know. So what's the fuse for? It goes to the motor right there. Okay, this is a how many amps? 3 amps. Okay, so if 3 wasn't enough, we should probably put a 6 amp in there. I think the motor is 4 amp. You know what? We could check. We can go look at the schematic, because it probably would be smart. Well, that's the thing, is because I thought the motor fuse was right here on the board. That's F2 right there, but maybe that's like a different one. So let's see if we can go find that. Make sure that it is actually supposed to be 3 amps. Because it being so easily accessible on the front does make me a little suspicious. So let's see, F2, are there any... Come on, man, this is the schematic. Why is it not here? F1 in line with the motor on the power board. See note 4, if not fused externally, value of F1 will be 2 amps slow blow. It's on the last page. When you say last page, you mean 8 of 8? 5 of 5? Here? Okay. Is this actually 5 of 5? No, it's 4 of 5. Hold on. I'm not in the place I thought I was. 5 of 9? No. Hold on. Wait a minute. We gotta know. What's on 7 of 9? We got a lookup table. We got column increment counter. We got some motor stuff. I think Portizo got it. You didn't, Ben. All right, it's going to be back here. 279. Okay, so I'll click one more time. Hey, I found it. Yay. All right. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Down. Bottom left quadrant. Okay, hold on. Scanning. 2 optical encoder, 2 carriage motor, C note 4, F1, located, note 4. Well, where's note 4? I don't see any notes. That's not a note. Note is on sheet. My gosh, why do people even buy DEC stuff? No wonder everyone left DEC to go make data general. If servo motor is not fused externally on cabinet, the value of F1 will be 2 amp slow blow. But what if it is externally fused on the cabinet? So 2 amp slow, that's like, that's kind of rough, isn't it? I mean, if they got a thing that tells you how to pack a truck with them, they got to have it somewhere. Look at F1 of the parts list for this board. Oh, no. Is it like 12? 30 amps? I'm sorry, what? 32 volt? What? Where do I find this mythical parts list? Man, I hate Gwenview. 276. Okay, thank you. Bro, what? Is this with a metal slug for a fuse? Yes. That might be 32 amps. Or 30 amps. Let me go see what the biggest number I have in that fuse box is. Good Lord. There is an Ace Hardware not ridiculously far away. I actually have a 30 amp fuse. It's 30 amp, 250 volts. I don't think the volt will matter. Check whether F1 on the board is okay. Don't worry, just read the rating off the blown one. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. What are we saying here? Check whether F1 on the board is okay first. If it is, don't worry. Just read the rating off of the blown one. If you have a second fuse mounted on the chassis, but I do have a second fuse mounted on the chassis. That's what we just pulled. Like that's the fuse holder right there, mounted to the chassis, that screw bolted through the metal. What's the rating on the blown one? 3 amps. I do have a 3 amp I can replace it with. Well, I thought this was the spec for the one that blew. I thought that was what we were looking for. We're not moving fuses from the logic board to anything else. I have fuses. We don't need to do that. I think I have every possible fuse we could need right now. Yeah, the slow blow part is where this gets complicated. That, not as much. I'm pretty sure none of these are slow blow. One on the board if there is a cabinet mounted one. If there isn't, then the one on the board gets downrated. Starting to not like deck. Yeah, Note 4 is on page 1 of the power board schematic. We're about to go look at it. I want to reread it. Right, this is the wrong thing. Hold on. 256. But we should start with 277. Okay. Note 4. If servo motor is not fused externally on cabinet, value of F1 right here will be 2 amp slow blow. Okay. All right, I feel like there is some value in just checking what that is. Pretty sure that's going to be 32 amps. I have a very, very strong suspicion. Yeah, it's a 30 amp. Busman AGC 30. Okay. Whoa. Is that? Let's reread all that again. Hold on. If servo motor is not fused externally in the cabinet, value of
A544JH subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 39 months. End of line.
A544JH, thank you for the Tier 1 sub and for 39 months. I appreciate that. 338. All right, we can look at that. Oh my gosh. That's not one I've actually extracted. Well, 308. Tech Talk's a bit hot. Because the stupid volume pot's terrible, that's why. It was loud for me too. Okay. Seems to be an aftermarket mod. I don't think so. There it is, right there. Boom. One fusey guy right there. And then 309. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Fuse, slow blow, 2 amp. So, do we think that they lost the 2 amp fuse for some reason, and then they tried to put a 3 in and it didn't work? Does the current motor on the current rating on the motor say? I have no idea. I I think it might say. There's a big old sticker on it. It's made by Litton, by the way, which is kind of cool. Doesn't say. No current. Just that it's 24 volts. Head jammed and it blew. What if the head jammed because a pin got stuck and the pin is stronger than the motor? Yeah, so I don't have any slow blow fuses. I do have a 2 amp fuse, but it's not slow blow. Carriage was truly jammed when you got it. You know what? That is correct. And I did power it while it was like that. I mean, I could have been the one to blow it. Yeah, but the 3 amp fuse is also slow blow. Do we pop a 3 in and see what happens? Start with a 2. You know what? I think a 2 is fair. Yeah, let's pop a 2 fast. Yeah, here's a fast 2 amp. All right. Here we go. I love that it was just a blown fuse. That I might be the one that actually killed. Wee. Okay. Let me give you a super wide view. Boom. All right. I love that this thing is big enough that I just have the phone mounted to it. Like, check for motor voltage before replacing the fuse. I'm sure it's fine. For giggles, I'm going to push it over. Okay. Recording in phone. All right, after looking this over, there's a good chance that when the head was stuck over here, it blew the fuse when I first plugged it in because it was stuck. So I put a new 2 amp fuse in this because it was apparently originally rated for a 2 amp slow blow fuse. So I'm trying a 2 amp fast blow. Let's see what happens. Oh boy, that rocks. Oh yeah. Well then, that's some life right there. Oh, that's weird. Oh, does it move out of the way so you can see? Okay, that's pretty fancy. What's up? Oh, yes! Awesome! Okay. Oh, man. Whew. Now print. Well, the head's, you know, bad still. Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to plug the head back in. We'll see how it... I'm going to turn it on, let it home, and then turn it off and see what it does again. Ooh. So it's going to try and move that last little bit every time. So it's going to drag the pin. I don't really want to drag the pin. If it gets bent, then we're screwed. Now, no, Q2 is in. So I assume That doesn't really feel like a sensor. How does it know? Is it checking for current or something in the motor? That it's stopped? Put some Kapton over the contact for the bad pin. Could do that. It goes in so tight, though, I genuinely believe it could tear through Kapton. Yeah, we could remove the transistor. Yeah, we have options here. Okay, oh my gosh, there's life. Oh, we're about to have the problem that will be expensive to solve. Oh, I'm excited, but also horrified. Okay. Um, move the head back. You know, actually, we could reduce the impression strength and then try it. Also, our head is out of calibration. I could just pull it all the way back. Although I did properly calibrate it, I think, using the 2 floppy label stand. And I'm gonna loosen this, slide it back as much as it can, and then we'll do it. All right. In order to test this, with the pins connected to see if it attempts to print, I'm gonna loosen the head, which has slots under it, and then I can slide this back, and then I can tighten it a little bit. And that will probably keep the pins from actually touching this aluminum bar here, and we can test trying to send it letters after I reconnect the head. Now I just have to plug this in. And we can see if it types. Wow. All right, I'm going to still expect this head to get hot, unfortunately, but we're getting closer to a potential solution for that. But here we go. Awesome! Oh gosh. I maybe shouldn't have done that. That was full power to the solenoid. I just killed it. It's dead now.
Ultimate says crud. S.ori2.have a CHER 200. Just in solidarity. End of line.
Thank you for 200 bits. We had continuity before, but I don't know, man. Yeah, we can do the resistance measurement. I do want to know. The other pins are probably okay. It's most likely that one pin will never print now. Which really sucks because it's only got 7 pins. That's pretty, pretty critical not to lose any. I think that was normal. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, why do they all look good? Did I catch it just in time? Is there hope? So it would be the 3rd pin. I don't know where it is on this connector. It would be the 3rd one in. So it would most likely either be this one or it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one. Both of those look okay. I mean, 3.3, 3.3, and then the other one I think was 3.6, 3.4, 3.4. Maybe it's okay. We're back. We might be okay. It's possible. Actually, I need to record. Okay, after checking the head, that's pin 3. This is pin 1 on this. No, hold on. Okay, I'm checking the head for resistance because if it totally died, it would have vaporized the coil. This is the first pin on one side. This is the second pin, and this is the 3rd pin, and that's 3.8, or 3.48, which is nominal compared to everything else. This is the other side. So we got 3.3, and then we've got 3.3, and then we've got 3.3, and we've got 3.3. And then I'll do the center for completeness here. Did I miss it? There we go, 3.3. So all solenoids are the same resistance still. So we didn't vaporize the coil. It's possible that it was heating up when I was doing the repeat W, which would do a lot of current through it. And that since I'd released it, it had stopped putting heat into it. And maybe we didn't fully cook it. We just got it really, really hot. So it might still work after we figure out whatever nonsense is going on back there. Your hair was in the way, nothing got recorded. Are you kidding? You're totally right. Oh my gosh. Thank you for letting me know. Someone should get a haircut. Probably you. All right. Pins 4 and 5 counting from the side of the connector nearest to the edge of the PCB. What do you mean nearest to the... Oh, over here? Okay. Okay, this is the connector that goes to the head for the solenoids. And supposedly pins 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 go to that pin, that solenoid, and it looks okay. As do all other solenoids on here. They're all the same resistance still. So it looks like I may have caught that just in time, or that it's possible that it was only heating up when I was trying to send it characters like that W that I was repeating. So it may not have gotten hot enough to fry the coil. It was just really badly heated. So I think we might be okay, but we desperately need to fix what's going on the power board. Okay. How many subs for Shelby Barbershop stream? I am not kidding, 1,000. It would be a big number. Maybe 10,000 actually. You know what? No, it'd be 10,000. Our programmer knows, definitely the head. So I don't know if you were catching everything that just happened. We figured out this fuse here was blown. We replaced it, which let the system work. And then we tried to type, and it probably sent more power through this, which failed. So all right, you all desperately want to think that it's C1 here. So we can pull C1 and see what it looks like, because we can't do it in circuit. So the resolution is not optimal. Okay. I don't know which one's D5 offhand. If you can tell me, then I'll do it. I just happen to know which one's C1. Which still is... not going to be tremendously easy to remove, but... Okay, this smoke we expect. What do you mean F? No more Fs. Wait, what? Relaxing Creek stream? Oh, wait, did we come back? Audio shaky. D5 is above Q2. Okay, I think I actually know where Q2 is. See some capacitor discolored? I don't know. Don't worry about Okay, we're good. No audio. I think we're good. I think we have audio. I think you guys are lying.
Diagnostic Dodgerson subscribed at Tier 3. They've subscribed for 36 months, currently on a 4-month streak. And says, how many subs do me and DECWriter have just lit for the barber shop?
Okay, how does it sound now? Is that any better sounding? Sound? Yes? No? Perfect? Okay, good. All right. Okay, so D5 is the one directly above the... Actually, I can't tell which one's D5. I'm just going to look since I'm standing now. Confused because I thought the creek replaced stream resuming soon stream. So the creek shows if there are, or is, I think 5 seconds of silence. So if I just kill the stream, then it's not going to like instantly switch over. Thank you for the tier 3. Yeah, oh yeah, I totally missed that. Dogface, thank you for the tier 3 sub and for 36 months. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. All right, let's go look at D5. Where's that? D5. Okay, there we go. R3 looks cooked. It's a shadow. We had a question there too. Oh, it might have gotten lost during the stuff. So first, Deck Talk now costs 200 to trigger. So sorry about that, but thank you for the 100 bits.
Subscribed with
twice.
Prime. They've subscribed for 4 months, currently on a 1-month streak. End of line.
One moment, Danny. And then 10,000 subs for Barbershop Stream. There you go. Danny, thank you for the Prime sub and for 4 months. I appreciate that. Okay. So yeah, D5 way up there. All right.
Diagnostic Dodgerson says stupid inflation CHER 100 CHER 100. End of line.
Dogface, thank you for the 200 bits. Wait a minute. Now I see what you mean. The one next to the B, that does look a little roasty toasty. I wonder if that just happened though. Like, what is that? That's R3? Could that have just gotten roasted when we pulled a billion current through the stepper or the solenoid? If that's open, the current will always be on. Yeah. Thank you for the 200 bits, Dogface, as well, if I didn't say it. Okay, let's check things. Here. Disconnect OTG to use flash. Weird. Okay, I can't turn flash on. All right, beep beep. All right, actually I'll do real diode test. Okay. Nothing that way. 0.6 volt drop. Okay. And then resistance test. That is 99.12 ohms. So I'm going to guess that that's 100 ohm and that it's probably fine. It's just a little well done. Sorry, I'm going back to removing C1. Yes, it is a shadow. Just so people can stop thinking the capacitor exploded. R3 looked fine yesterday. Well, it got a little bit of a tan today. What can I say? All right. Let's remove C1. Oh, that's a lot of solder on there. Better. Come on, Lego. 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 Okay, that's not gonna work. I tapped it out on the table. Thank you very much. All right, progress. Leave that and start working on the other side now. All right, super fun side. Thanks, Motorola. Step away for launch. What was the outcome of the smoke? Seems like it's maybe not the end of the world. My speculation is that it was only adding heat when I was trying to type characters, and I wasn't doing that constantly, so I think it might survive. I feel like I need to wear safety glasses. Like, this thing is just going to absolutely fly off of there. I'm not kidding. Yeah, DECWriter. All right, I'm only going to be able to wear this for like 3 minutes here before it fogs over completely, so we got to be fast. Well, we didn't need that one anyway, I guess. I'm pretty sure that it fell off and then out this hole. So now I gotta go find it. Oh, good. There it is. One capacitor. All right. Let me get the capacitor test-a-majigger. Wait, do I have to stand for this, or was I smart enough to put it in here? No, I have to stand. Oh, stupid standing. Where is it? Can I see it? Well, yeah, I definitely have to stand. And not hearing it hit the ground, yeah. It landed on the leg of the unit inside. Who needs a back anyway? Okay. Let's do a prediction. Hallencroft, you want to make a prediction? I don't know what it's for, but just go for it. Whatever they think it is. I don't know when the prediction's gonna start or end, so just let me know, because I'm fine with that if you want to. Cap is good, cap is bad. Well, it's a ceramic. I'm not even sure I can fully test it with this thing. Are we doing a thing? Vote? All right. All right, let me know when it's over. Everyone says cap is the problem. Is this a yeah, this is a channel point prediction, not a poll, right? It is channel point. Okay, so just let me know when it's over. All right, you're saying you want a resistance measurement. It's over. All right, here we go. So this is a multimeter. Ow. And these are really pokey probes. And this is a capacitor. And this is on resistance. Okay, you guys are saying that this is the test. So we got a leg here. We got a leg there. And then... there you go. There's your result. Hold on. It's real hard to keep it there. Not as valid as I'm touching the leads. Yeah, but if I just touch the leads. How am I supposed to not touch fingers? Ah, oh, jeez. It's gonna move. Clips? Why you and your thinking with the like brains and the like bits of the neurons and other doohickeys in there? It doesn't want to. It says, no, I like living in the DECWriter. Don't take me. Okay, it's probably caught on the thing. I mean, there is no cap test mode. It's a 287, not a 289. And that's garbage anyway. I don't trust that on these. No. No, but I got the DER meter if we want that. Hold on. I don't like how different this is. Hold on. I'm not putting any stock in those readings yet. Diode mode also has a cap function. Oh, I didn't know. I refuse. I'm telling you, this thing sucks at capacitors. No, we will use the actual LCR meter. Straight up, I am not going to show a capacitor measurement from this thing. Not happening. There we go. Okay, so I guess we're not getting anything? And to confirm. Wait, why does this suck so much? Yeah, okay. Confirm, yes, figures 200K ohms. Okay. Actual LCR meter. Clip. Falls out. Clip-ish. And clip. Power. There you go. I don't know if there is a direct across resistance or what you want. Try ESR. That's not as easy as you think. But we can try. I think that's it. It really doesn't want to do ESR on this thing. There, 11 ohms. That's totally normal. That seems really high. Why would it be 11 ohms ESR on a ceramic? Although that is 100K hertz. Let's try 100 hertz. 1,000, or yeah, 1,000 hertz. I don't know what the difference is between CS and CP. Also, the right clip is really not giving me strong connection. That should be better. So at 10 kilohertz, ESR is 85. Yeah, cap is good. Too low capacitance for ESR measurement. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. So, ceramic cap is fine, I'm guessing. It's not really a good thing that the cap is fine, because it means that we're out of things to look at. But, yeah. Well, it's very different for ceramics 1010. Do we take voltage measurement across R6? I don't know. We're doing everything heads disconnected now, though. I can tell you that. All right, so we're done with this. I should put this back in the board. Need to determine the cause for that resistor smoking. Shouldn't have been passing that much. That is literally the problem we need to solve, Philip. The whole problem is that we get current going through that pin when we shouldn't. So, a reiteration, this group of stuff here that also includes a big transistor up there is passing a small amount of current all the time, and it seems like when it is used, it passes way too much current now. Did we replace Q2 after the incorrect? No. So I should just pull that Q2 and put back the original. That's what I want to do. But I got to put this cap back first, which is going to kind of suck. What do you mean, no? Don't put the cap back. Put the original Q2 back. Why would we not put the cap back? Hold on. Nope. Hold on. Explain to me exactly what you want to test before we do anything. Poot, you're talking like super edge cases now. I don't think that that's what we should do. This is so schematic. I'm even going to remove that layer and add a new one. What exactly do you want to do? 1010, we've basically done that at this point. We can't test the resistors. Okay, so Ben, you are saying, wow, something is happening there, right? That's what you're saying. First, current's flowing through Q2. There must be, because we see a voltage on R2, which we confirmed here we saw 1.5 volts. Going into the base Q2, work out where it's coming from. Options are C1, D5, and the D something chain. Okay, so you're saying something somewhere is leaking current, and it has to be coming from here or here, 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 here. These are our ingress points. Okay. So we can rule out this one because that's that potential. So it's not R5. So D4 comes from VREF, or D5. I feel like it can't be D5. We also checked D5 is not shorted. So one thing we could check, remember, we saw low on this, but we also saw low up here. So it's probably not this. So coming from D2, we've seen 0 volt across, okay, when it was lifted. So checking each of these one at a time is the next best reasonable thing. Because no power comes from the C1 area. Yeah, but I can just test D4 through D1. Although I'm pretty sure I did that and they all looked fine. Ground can supply power. That is a valid point. Ground can supply power in this. So with C1 removed, we have isolated ground from the base. So that might have been why they were speculating that C1 could be bad, because if it was leaking, we would get it through ground. Yeah. Oh, the curve tracer's fine when it's not the last half hour of stream. Although I'm not particularly keen with it being the last 3 half hours of stream. Okay, what do you mean absolutely rule it out first? Didn't we just do that? Quick voltage test across R2. Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying about the voltage. Yes, yeah, which is what Poot wanted to test. We could just put it on a power supply and test that for current draw, but we can only measure half a milliamp at a time, which is not great. I mean, that's maybe enough to test, but. So here's my question, okay? We see a small amount of leakage when it's not on, when the pin should not be active, because this was low, all right? So this should not be active. Let's speculate that when I was pressing the keys, it should be active. We got a boatload more current through it than we should. So would the behaviors that you are questioning support more current going through than should be possible when it is applying power? I'd had it on for longer than that before. On camera, I've been really good about turning it off. The first time I turned it on, it was on for a lot longer than it was in that test. It was definitely the pin solenoid being activated. Because I didn't know that it was bad at first. So it took me a while to figure that out. Yeah, because it seems like whatever limits the current could be bad. Okay, so BK's speculation is that Q2, which is my replaced one, is dead. So that actually, eh, eh, so that you'd have a higher voltage across the solenoid than you would, which manifests slight leakage, higher current. Diode chain might not be holding solenoid at around 15 volts. Okay. So let's say we can do this, okay? We can replace Q2 with the original and then remove the fuse from the front. And then we should see the same behavior as yesterday, where one pin locks and it's relatively safe because there's a small amount of current going through it. That would be, we would return to that state, but we can leave C1 out to see what happens. So what do we think about that test? Remove motor fuse so it doesn't activate the solenoid no matter what. Put Q2 back in, the original, leave C1 out. Yeah, so PJB, I was figuring this was a 60 volt shunt. This was one of the first things that I'd marked. The part that's confusing is how it shunts. Like, it looks like it could be shunting into the base of that, which is weird. We sub the heads with a power resistor. Not easily. For one, I don't have a power resistor. I don't like having the heads plugged in either. Okay, so I'm writing up the test. Reinstall Q2, original Q2. Remove motor fuse. Prevent init and solenoid. I can spell. Activation. Leave C1 out. Okay. There's no shunting with them connected. There's a nice gentle decay of the current from the solenoid through C1. Wait, through C1. So it would have to DC conduct? Can anyone fully summarize what we've done today? We put a fuse in that was bad, and then the carriage motor worked, and then I tried typing it, and it probably nearly fried the solenoid that's been stuck the whole time. We think it's still okay, but it smoked a lot. But it's probably okay because the coil is the same resistance still. Yeah, it was spoopy. All right. I think I'm going to go with this test. Unless Majenko has any input after the simulated circuit. Spikes, slurps up the spike, drills it back out. Okay. Fitting time for the area. Okay, so that's what you mean. It doesn't pass it through, it just holds it and then slowly bleeds it through. Okay. Using 10K resistors so the head should work. It really would suck to try and connect that. I don't want to. We can do that as a secondary test later. Okay, hold on though. What are we measuring when we're in this state? Oh, we're plugging the head in and then seeing if it sticks. That's what we're doing. Hold on. So, wait a minute. C1 is to protect the solenoid. Voltage across R2. Okay. Okay, so if we don't have the solenoid connected, we never did this test with the solenoids disconnected. I feel like if we'd done that, or if we'd known, check the resistance of ground to the coil. Yeah, we can do that. I'm just going to do that right now, just because I will forget later. Well, my thought is if we return it to what it was yesterday, effectively, the solenoid seemed mostly safe. I have a feeling the solenoid isn't referenced to ground at all. Because there's no chassis up there. Yeah, none of the solenoids. Oh, that's not true. Never mind, it's fine. Yeah, none of the solenoids conduct to ground. Camera change? Yeah, it wasn't worth it. Okay, well, now I'm going to change. Here's the thing. All right, here's why I am not even remotely comfortable trying to jam a resistor through that. So we would have to figure out where we can clip onto on the stuff to try and figure this stuff out. And that is not going to be trivial. Because I think one of the things that we need to clip onto is the case of that transistor. And I mean, maybe I could clip onto the bolt, but... And Unwise Giraffe, hello. Streaming electronic stuff is very, well, if you're doing repairs, it can be very challenging because you don't know what you're necessarily looking for going into it. I would say just grab a phone, point it at your workbench, and see what happens. It's a little complicated to get into. You have to try and get mini grabbers onto the board connector. Yeah, see, that's gonna suck. I mean, we'd have to 100% guarantee we know which pins it is. So if I do beep test, in theory, the case of this should go to one of these. Okay. Wait, what? Why is it not beepering? Come on, beep. Weird. Is that like heavily oxidized? Oh, no, that's right. I forgot. They're super evil. In addition to the pins being staggered, there's an extra row of shield pins in there that block access to the lower ones. I forgot about those. So yeah, this super sucks. Did we test what happens if I turn it on without the head connected? In functional state? I think it would be safe. I want to see if the logic initializes. Neither D5 nor C1 were shorted. Here's C1. So in theory, do you have IR camera handy? It's right here. Why? All right, I'm going to turn it on with the heads disconnected. I want to see it, see if cooked resistor gets hot. Ah. Well, first off, let me just really quick make sure the head rehomes. Okay, we're clear. Okay. So it tries to work. Man, that belt goes really slack. It really smacks into there. Okay, so if we only connect a resistor to the output of pin 3, then we can safely leave everything else disconnected and it should try to operate. Philip, we had everything connected. The head solenoid started to smoke like crazy. Kind of hoping that there's just like tape or something wrapped around in there and that the glue on it was getting hot. I don't know. Move Q2, leave the head unplugged, test for voltage on the base of Q2. I kind of like that test. Well, I think we're all in agreement no matter what, that Q2's got to come out. So I'm just going to do that first. Okay, we have no Q2, no C1 at present. Well, yeah, but leaving it unplugged, it's a little difficult to, well, yeah, for kicks. I don't think there's any reason not to try it. Why not? We should see 0 here. I agree we will see 0. Probably see large negative voltage in the base of Q2 with it removed. Okay. Yeah, I guess it would be negative 21, wouldn't it? Because that's where it's ground referenced. So this is probably negative 21. Yeah. Okay, so that's correct. I'm going to reinstall the original Q2. You shouldn't see... What? And what do you mean? Put the cap back in and retest? We would need a more solid reading of it if we're going to do that. Getting very lag twitches, utterly hating me. Yeah, you know what? I kind of like Poot's test idea here. So, Poot's test will easily, quickly, safely tell us whether or not we're getting voltage through C1. So let me get a more real reading on this. Minimum 25. And then I turned it off and it went away, but minimum 25. Okay. And then I'm going to reinstall C1. Just be prepared. Yeah, I'm not going to put the leads through the holes. Just going to put them kind of on there. Okay. We released some smoke from the head solenoid, but it doesn't seem like it's the magic smoke. It was just ordinary smoke. Let's go here. Okay. $24.9, so 25 volts again. So C1 is not conducting. Maybe, Helen Croft. I could definitely see that. This seems more put it in a bin like of a problem. Okay, so now I'm removing C1, and I'm going to reinstall Q2, and I'm going to do that original test we talked about. Well, we didn't need that anyway. Okay, reinstalling original Q2. I'm going to be fancy here. I'm going to install it not backwards. Plugging the head in with Q2 removed. Q1 should not conduct. Hold on. I thought we were going to try and do a horrible, inconvenient resistor test with the head plugged in. The share channel would be for that G-pin. Just to keep that in mind. Okay, the original Q2 is loosely installed. What Helen said. Throw away 2N222, you have more, and it was backwards. Don't trust it anymore. Yeah, I agree. And by throw it away, I mean, yes, I definitely threw away and not flicked it across the office. Okay. So now we try to measure across. So 1 point is up here. Also down here, we can do that. It's just horrifically inconvenient, but I think I can get it. Let me try a thing really quick. Told you about it. Original Q2, C1 out, measure voltage across R2. Heads connected versus disconnected. Oh, that's right. We can remove the motor fuse. You know what? I'll just plug the heads in and we'll remove the motor fuse. Because that should be safe. Yeah, let's just do it. Heads connected. Screw it. Okay. Motor fuse out. Yeah. R2. I forgot where it is. But I'll plug this in and go look up R2. And we'll measure that. Yeah. R2 is right above Q2. Okay. Head's connected, but it will never do big power. Here we go. So about 2 volts across R2. So is that dead Zener somewhere then? Stupid Zeners. So it's curve tracer time then. Well, it's also, we may as well stop. Now unplug the heads and try again. Zilcho. At least 2 dead Zeners. Yay. Okay. Well, that's cool. I don't have any of those. So... we effectively just did poot. That is the voltage. It's going into the transistor to turn it on. Actually, I'm going to record. At this point, I'm being... Oh, hold on. Let me plug this in. All right. At this point, I'm being somewhat guided by chat while I work on this live. We are measuring resistor R2, which connects the base to the emitter, if I remember correctly, on the Q2 transistor, which I have put the original back in. I don't know if that whole endeavor will make it into the edit, but I am seeing about 1.8 volts across it when I turn the unit on. And I'm suspecting that, based on what I'm being told, actually, not what I'm suspecting, and based on that measurement, it's seeming like we have two dead Zener diodes down here that are part of a 60 volt shunt that protects the head. All right. Dead Zener should show up if you measure its resistance. So we can isolate these one at a time and do that. So that one's 1.5K, 1K. 1.2 mega ohm. I mean, I'm sure that the difference there is inconsequential. Yeah, 1.5K, okay. And then 1.2 meg, and then 1.2 meg. The K1 is dead, yes. But it's only one? You think it's just making the other ones behave weird? Well, here's what I think I need to do. I think I need to shop for a Zener diode set. I could buy one 15 volt, or I could fix all future Zener diode problems and just buy a kit. So let's look for some Zener diodes. Buy many? Well, I mean, I want a kit of like different values and stuff. So I'm probably going to get like 5 of each value or something. Let's see. I know you can't see anything yet. It's intentional. Okay. Also, check power rating for Zener. This would be like more is better. Okay. So, let's see. Zener diode set. Maybe kit. Kit. Ooh, I like that binder one. Not whatever that was. Jiggers. I like the box. I want one in a box, and not just a box that contains some diodes. Well, I mean, I do want the Horseman set. That sounds pretty good. Okay, so 20 kind tuner diode assortment. So these are 47, 44. Not that we're going to get like an exact match to that, but let's see. Original's 1 watt? Okay. Okay. Are these... No, these are shot... What? We got one Zener in this. So maybe this then. 0.5 watt though. Yeah, I'll try to make sure I get a power one. That's why I'm looking right now. Yeah, as much as I don't like the idea of just getting a box of all of them, maybe this is the better way to go. So we would get a 4744, looks like. 1 watt. So this might not be a bad one. I can get them tomorrow. I gotta order more junk though. Buy a cheap component tester? Nah, we got expensive ones. They're better. Why buy cheap component tester when I got curve tracer in the other room? So far I'm liking this one. Although this is more for same cost. The range is better. Individual values are better. How are these labeled? No, they're labeled by the actual IN numbers. Okay, that's gonna be annoying. You ever want to bring out the curve tracer? If I buy the modern one, we'll never use the cool one, though. I want to be clear. I wouldn't have used the cheap one with only a half an hour left either, because that means desoldering the part, pulling it out. It's soldering on this thing kind of sucks. Isn't the curve tracer on a cart? No. I'm not paying that when I got a curve tracer. Especially not when it's got funny money symbols in front of it, because you might as well triple this by the time it gets to me now. Wait, those are transistors. We don't want that. Ooh, that's not bad. Double the cost, though. I do see the 4744 wattage is unspecified. I mean, if it says IN 4744, it should be directly drop in place. This one also gets here tomorrow. I mean, if I wanted to not be a giant baby about it, I could just use one of my sorter bins for screws to hold these two. Yeah, I think I should get this one. Okay. Let me think through some projects I have going on in my head. I need... You know what? I need... You know, that probably just says for literally anyone that it can be Delivered tomorrow. It doesn't necessarily mean it can be delivered to me tomorrow. One moment. It can be delivered to me tomorrow. Okay. Qualifying orders over $25. Okay, so let's say I order 2 of these. Okay. Now I want headphone wire. I forget, people are idiots. Spool. Oh my gosh. DIY. Dude, come on. Just 25 feet. I mean, do I just buy one of these and just cut the ends off at this point? I mean, good grief. Audio cable wire, it's going to be speaker wire then. I don't want that. Because I need it to be stereo with ground. Audio DIY, hold on, wire. It's just going to be speaker wire, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's just speaker wire. That's not the same. I mean, I could just buy one of these and just cut the ends off. S video connectors? Add shielded? I don't really want it to be shielded. I don't care about that. For SNES? No, this is just for Extron in general. When I'm routing the Extron audio stuff, don't tell anyone, but I've been using old USB cables from the dollar store. So that's how I've been making my Extron audio cables, and it would be cool if I just had some 3-conductor wire specifically for this. And yeah, it seems like just cut an existing one. I'm not buying a battery-powered oscilloscope. That's going to be so expensive. All right. I guess this. Get it tomorrow. It's $11, whatever. Let me make sure I can actually get that tomorrow. Yeah, you need $7 audio. Yeah, Radio Shack. Yeah, I wish I could get it from Radio Shack. Okay, add to cart. Okay. Let's see. I mean, that's not bad. $25 feet, 22 gauge. It'll probably be the same cost as the one with the connectors. For things to buy after. Oh, I bought some. I made the cables yesterday. It took me 3 hours to do it. It was horrible. Yeah, maybe I get this instead. Hold on. I actually wrote down a list from working on some of my stuff here. For things I needed. I don't know what Nextcloud's problem is, but it is signing me out literally every single time now, and it's extremely frustrating. Okay, so the only thing I wrote down that I needed for this project is two Extron audio cables, which is what the raw audio cable is for. So I think that might work. Go to cart. Let me remove the one that's got the thing on it. My total is $27. In theory, I should be able to get this tomorrow. No, it's not something that deletes cookies, because it's all of my computers. I think it updated. Oh, it's not counting something. Oh, one's free tomorrow delivery. One's free overnight 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. delivery. They're different. You know what? The one that's got connectors on it is 4 a.m. to 8 a.m., so that will get me them tomorrow. So, I'm just getting that one. I'm just going to cut the ends off, whatever. I would rather have the other one, but I also want these Zener diodes tomorrow, so I don't have to think about this. All right, hold on. Diode tester. There's like the garbage 5-volt one, isn't there? Like the little green one. Wait, there's the peak thing. Yeah, I'm not paying $80 for that. Screw that. What's the garbage one? Is this like the new version of the garbage one? For like transistors or whatever? Component tester. Yeah, it looks like that's basically all of them. Yeah, I would rather have the one that Helen Croft linked, but I can't get it in free shipping by the time I wake up tomorrow. That's it. That's the garbage one, which is clearly the same as the one with the case. So I should just get the one with the case. Okay, let's sort it by I can get it immediately. Nah. Okay. Let me see about this. There's an add-on. Nah, it's just got to come out of the box. Wait, this does Zeners though, right? Control F, Zener. It can't do Zebra diners. Zebra diners. Zener. Zener diode test area. Detect. Okay. So that one can do Zeners. The transistor kits you have? Yes, I have some 8 something or another ones. The diode tester majigger will be here, can be here tomorrow as well. But it's not going to be in the same box. Okay, 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'll get Zener diodes, and then I can film trying to repair the thingamajig for the video. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting, and I don't know what it is that I need for other project. Poot. It's got Zener diode detect. This is transistor detect area. I don't know what the difference is. I think the actual Zener diode is at 30 volts. I just answered the question. I don't know what the question is. Get the one with a color LCD? I don't care about color. Like, I think that one is color LCD. Yeah, I think that one's good. I think that one's fine. And it's from the reputable brand Saiwan. Why do you need them tomorrow? Oh, film and repair tomorrow. Yeah. I currently have no video for next week for Real Channel. And the best I'm going to be able to do on second channel is trying to make some out of the mess that was that S-Video mod for the mini SNES. Oh, I feel like there's something I'm really forgetting for my Extron project. Ugh. What am I forgetting? Is it just Extron to Extron cables? Because I know that's a problem. Okay. Question. I feel like the answer is going to be no, because it's just, I feel like this isn't my general audience, or at least not the technical people who watch my streams. Do any of you have an Extron cross-point switch hooked up to something like a RetroTink? So like the uber nerd fancy pants way of doing stuff. All right. But then the bigger thing is, okay, do you run garbage tier video signals through it? Because this morning I was trying to set up my Extron cross-point switch to route video signals into that RetroTank 4K that we saw Friday. All right. Extron Matrix switch up to RGB to HDMI. That's similar. So here's the thing. I just want to use S-Video. I don't really feel the need to RGB mod my consoles. I think S-Video looks fine. So I'm trying to simultaneously route S-Video and composite, all right? And the RetroTank supports this, and it has an option for composite onto the H-Sync, signal of the VGA input. I'm just going to order the stuff. I don't think I can remember anything. And I don't want to miss the window for getting tomorrow delivery because I had that happen and I was really ticked. You can still add eligible items. Dude, Amazon knows me. This is mean. Dude, way to call me out. Amazon's like, we know that you suck at this. You can still buy more things and we'll add them to the same box. Run garbage video signals into my IN1606, PAL RGB. Yes, so that's the other thing, Majenko. Stock up on non-null modem USB. I should have. USB serial adapter. The problem with these is that they have the knockoff FTDI chips, and then they don't work after you boot Windows with them. More HDMI couplers. That's actually a good one, but not right now. Sabrent is less likely, yeah, and prolific chipset. This is less likely to be garbage. It's not the 4 AM to 8 AM though. Here's what I'm gonna do. Wait, you can only get this price if you're a Prime member? I have never seen this before. What in the Costco is going on here? And it's not even sold by Amazon. That's so weird. Anyway, it seems like the Extron Crosspoint Matrix is messing up the H-Sync signal that I'm routing composite over, because I can't capture it on either my DVS 510 that I have at home or the RetroTank. The RetroTank works better at capturing it because the DVS 510, as Majenko can probably tell you now, really hates to lock on to low resolution stuff. Dude, I can get those overnight. I love it. I'm buying 3 of them. Wait, if I buy 3 of them, they'll get them to me today. Tried updating firmware in the unit. I don't know that you can do that on the Crosspoint. Oh, man. I am so sorry, Mr. Amazon delivery driver. Wait, it can also do 4 AM to 8 AM. I'm not using them tonight. You know what? I'm letting them stick them all in the same box. There we go. Okay, so USB serial adapters. That was a good call out. Anyway, Extron, Crosspoint. Yeah, I think I should be able to route the composite over the H-Sync. Getting firmware out of Extron about professional affiliation. Yeah, managed snacks, cheap working one, base corrector. Oh, you got a time-based corrector? I'm kind of jealous. Okay, is it the 84? I don't remember. Original FTDI cable? I mean, I just ordered the Sabrents. These were not that much when I bought them from Newegg. Not Newegg, DigiKey. Anyway, let's look at the Extron manual. Anyway, I read something from somewhere that someone said that this thing, it's not this one, that's HDMI, does H-sync regeneration. So it will take in the H-sync signal and then regenerate it on the output, which obviously would destroy composite. But I swear I got composite working. So I'm just wondering if anyone's got any weirdness of running composite through the H-sync. Also, I think mine's stuck in executive mode. But that's a different problem. I need to fix that. Because if I hold the view and escape buttons when I power it up, it works fine. But then when I reboot it, the front panel's disabled. So I think it's stuck in executive mode, and I just need to disable that. So I think mine's 12 by 8. Isn't it a fun way? Was that like I2C to RS-232 or something? I don't want to do that. We need a newer version of Extron PCS. I don't know what Extron PCS is. So I'm just using the web interfaces, or I'm going to send commands directly over serial. So yeah, here we do, you know, a Super Nintendo and a Nintendo 64 and a Dreamcast. Oh yeah, the Dreamcast. This is one of those things where it's probably just like I should have just done it the right way the first time, but I didn't because dumb. So I have a Dreamcast VGA cable. So I bought a VGA to RGB cable, and then I routed that into the Extron. But that meant I needed a VGA coupler, and now I got an RGB to VGA cable going into the RetroTink, and a second one that goes into the Extron DVS 510, because the RetroTink is meant to be removable from the system in case I want to bring it to the office. This is my home setup, by the way, that's connected to that TV that is going to... So I have game consoles and other stuff, you know. I don't know. I think I need to disconnect everything and test it all one at a time. I think that's maybe what I need to do. The fun part that I wasn't expecting is that the grid of the BNC jacks on these are so tight that you cannot remove anything once you start to fill it in. So like, if you plug in this row here, and then this row here, and then this row here, you cannot remove this BNC cable because you have to work your way in. And I was not expecting that. It kind of sucks. I don't think they carry 28 milliamp current loop adapters. I mean, we can look. 20 milliamp current loop. We're just going to search that, see what we can get. There's 1.04. Interesting. Okay. A signal generator. Interesting. Still signal generator. What is that thing? Current loop transmitter, I2C. Interesting. I don't know what this weird thing is. Signal generator. Why? Why does everyone want an LED signal generator? Is special made tools for getting a BNC out of a dense jack? Yeah, I can definitely imagine that. So no, not the thing. None of the things. No. Don't think it does 20 milliamp. No. Yeah, none of these are affordable. It's cheap, fast, and easy? Yeah, I guess. I mean, can I buy the BNC tool? Hold on. BNC tool. Oh my gosh, they're like weirdo spark plug screwdrivers. I kind of want one, but that's so big. Wait, I need it to be like a little stubby one because I can't fit that in the shelf where I've got all this stuff. That's maybe better. That also should... Yeah, maybe... I don't know. That's getting closer. I don't really want to pay $14 for it, though. Build it yourself. Oh, for the adapter, it's like the tool? I mean, that's a little, maybe with 3D print. I don't know what I'm going to do about the 20 milliamp current loop. Yeah, the bundle of wires is in the way. Yeah. I think I'm just going to have to remove all of the wires and start from scratch. Because to connect the, yeah, we already looked on eBay. They're all expensive on there too. Because I think there's industrial control applications that are using them for some stupid reason. And that they're buying them all up at whatever price, you know, the contractor can charge the customer for. So, yeah. I think that's probably going to be it. I mean, the Dasher has a current loop interface as well, but there's no way I'm plugging that thing into the Dasher because I'm not stupid. No, I don't need any parts of a CD-DVD robot. It's kind of perfect. It just needs software, which is me. I'm the limiting factor on that. Get some PC 817 octocouplers to make current loop interface yourself. Got 2 Dashers, he says, grinning evilly. Yeah, I also have 2 Novas, so I'm going to want 2 functional Dashers at one point. Poot, maybe. But it seems like it wouldn't be worth it. Honestly, I would rather pay $145 and spend the time reverse engineering and doing all that. So, as annoying as that is, maybe there's a used one that's like 20 bucks. Let's see. Let's see, other sellers, new from the same price. There's no used ones. Oh no, they only have 2 left. Ah, scary. No reviews. Okay. What's current loop for? Cereal. Yeah, I want to see what executive mode looks like on this, because pretty sure. Setting the front panel locks. Okay. Setting front panel locks. Okay. Matrix Switcher has 3 levels of front panel security that limit the operation of the switcher to the front panel. Okay. Front panel is completely locked. All front panel functions unavailable. Changes are locked. Some functions can be viewed. Okay, I think I might be in this one. Basic functions are unlocked. Advanced features are locked. Okay. Basic features exist of, okay. Advanced features, video and audio, okay. Setting lock mode between 2 and 0. If switcher is in lock mode, 0. Completely unlocked. Or 1, this procedure selects mode 2. If it's in mode 2, this procedure selects mode 1. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. You do some kind of binary encoding on the front buttons? This is stupid. DECWriter 2 only has current loop interface at the moment. Oh yeah, I mean that's why. Stream dropped off. Oh, okay. What about dark mode? Is that what Amazon looked dark mode? I have Dark Reader installed. You do the same thing for the baud rate? Yeah, this is weird. Okay, so I think I'm mode 1, executive mode. So I probably want, this is in mode 0 or mode 1. This procedure selects mode 2. Okay. Toggle lock on and off. Press and hold the enter button, the RGB HV button, and the audio button for approximately 2 seconds. So just all of them. Okay. I could totally see that having happened. Trying to set this up as a Linux terminal. I just want it to work. Like, I got all kinds of stuff I can use it with. Here's the dumbest thing, okay? I kind of really want to use it for the supporter printouts. Unfortunately, it uses a weird spool of ribbon. I was able to buy a new case of it, but it's old stock, so it might suck. But I want to use it for the supporter printouts because it's an upright tracker, and I have not been able to get one of those working with a modern computer yet. So if I can get the 20 milliamp current loop adapter working with that, I could use it for printing the supporter printouts, and then we would have a vertical printout, which would solve some of the visibility issues with it. It may not necessarily solve the problem with, excuse me, being able to see the print. Oh yeah, you guys are asking about the printer from yesterday. I'll answer this right now. So I use the ThinkJet. That is an HP, well, the first inkjet printer by HP, ThinkJet. It is a dot matrix printer, but it is not an impact printer. So I use that because the inkjet nature of it means that it's really easy to see. It prints the exact same every time, as long as there's ink in the cartridge, which they still make new ones of, because this printer module is used for decades. As long as there's still ink in the cartridge, it prints beautifully every time. So I use that because it's easier to see. I have not found a good supply of universal 2-inch typewriter spools that don't suck, that are new. Or else I have a world of other printers that I could use that would make much more pleasant sounds. But every time I try and use one of those, the print is so faint that it's not legible. So that's why. Look for the SIS commands, serial cable, you can escape, hex, and we'll factory reset. So factory reset you do by holding the escape and the view buttons. It doesn't actually reset the mode. It clears the ties and presets and clears video and audio mutes. It doesn't actually change the executive mode. Weirdly. VODs have the typewriter sounds mutes. No, the printer at the end doesn't make sound like that. That's not how it works. Unless you mean the Twitch ones, those usually get a mute for the intro music because Amazon just cannot comprehend that I own the rights to that. Re-ink the ribbon, it wouldn't be re-ink the ribbon. It would be buying a brand new ribbon and then applying any amount of ink to it at all. This outro. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I do play music through the outro, but I talk over it, so usually that doesn't get matched, but yeah. Is the back panel system reset different from the front panel? Back panel? Or the front panel? What's back panel reset? Where are you seeing that? Front panel reset is identical to rear panel reset. So yes, it is. The same. Yeah, so what happens if I do this, then it works. I think it doesn't load the executive mode, but as soon as I power cycle it, then it does it. Rear panel hard reset. From selecting the rear panel remote port protocol, it's 9608N1, that's fine. Performing system reset from the rear panel, you just hold reset. Okay. Clears all type. Yeah, that's functionally identical. I didn't know it can change the audio level. That's horrifying. If I got into the Goodwill, if it's just executive mode, that's nothing. Performing hard reset. Hard reset, restore switcher to the original factory, default settings, all user settings. All user files and settings are maintained. What files? Also, it defaults to the original factory settings, but also all user settings are saved? What? What does it reset? I don't know. I'm just going to try changing the executive mode because I'm fine with that. As long as it is in an executive mode and I can get out of it, problem solved. It works fine elsewise. Well, other than I can't get composite to go through HSync, but I don't know what that problem is yet. I'm wondering if there is some kind of ground loop problem with one of my devices that I need to solve, that it's destabilizing it. It's like you power cycle. Yeah, right? Hard reset clears RAM. I mean, hard reset returns the switcher to default factory firmware configuration. The switcher continues to operate using this firmware until you either power cycle, in which case the switcher begins to use the most up-to-date recently installed firmware, or install a new firmware update. Wait, that is super weird. So if you want to be nostalgic and use the old firmware, you can do that. That's not really a hard reset. That's just like a boot recovery. Like, maybe you would do that. There's a ROM and an EEPROM on there. The ROM has the original firmware, and then the EEPROM can be updated. Maybe you screw the EEPROM, then you can use this to reflash the EEPROM with a new firmware. That's all this seems like. This just seems like safe mode. Yeah, I'm not going to look at the troubleshooting for my problem. Plasma display S video problem. Hold on. Electron has encountered a problem when the matrix switcher with 2 or more video planes routes S videos output by some video conference codecs. Some codecs change the DC offset on the chrominance so that it is very different from the level on the luminance. This causes a plasma display to come up in the wrong size mode. That's weird. Matrix switcher is taken out of the system. The plasma works fine. It looks like a problem with the matrix switcher, but it is not. The matrix switcher boosts the bad codec output, which makes plasma go in the wrong setting. Try placing an Extron video DC block adapter on the luminance input into the switcher from the codec. Weird. Grabby hands. That was the wrong chat box. Sounds like a capacitor. It might be like a little RC circuit to try and not change the circuit or the signal. I don't know. Should you order one? I don't know. Am I going to regret showing this on stream? Oh, wait, is that the DC block thing? I don't think I need this. It's kind of funny, though. Dude, what do you bet? We could just use this as a DC block on the spectrum analyzer. I wonder how low it goes down to. Because it's basically the same thing. Yeah, I saw you said that, Helencroft. I'll look at that later to see if I want to try and build one. You said the free one that hopes you might demo it. I mean, I did, didn't I? I forgot to make like I should make a second channel video about it. I can make a second channel video about that adapter by itself pretty easily. I'm actually super grooving on the second channel right now. Having a literal, we did a stream with it. Yeah, not a video, but having the second channel where I can do literally anything I want is really nice. I mean, I could do literally anything I want on the main channel, but stakes are higher there. Second channel, if I want to include a half an hour of some dude talking over melancholy piano music, oh, I'm golden. Main channel video, that would be terrible. Try updating the firmware. It's at home. This thing, we can't do anything with it. And again, literally all I have to do is just go push 2 buttons, 3 buttons, and then it should be fixed. The composite problem is most likely an analog issue with something. I'm concerned about that one. So you're talking about 90% of my streams. No! Again, by the time I get this, that's not, I'm gonna wish it was that much as well. Oh, man. All right, you know what? That's not running the latest firmware. When you push... Poot, I really don't know what you're trying to angle for. There are two problems with it. One is probably an analog issue with the way that things are connected. I'm just going to unplug everything and retest it, and I'm going to see if I have a DC leaky device or something that's messing up the composite interface. The second one is I can't push the buttons if I don't boot it with the soft reset, factory reset. And I'm suspecting it's just because it's booting up with executive mode. I can send and receive serial commands to it just fine, which is realistically probably how I'm going to use it most of the time anyway, so it's not really an issue to change the inputs. The only thing I can do is change the routes. So if I just go in there and I probably change it from executive mode 1 to executive mode 0, problem solved. So I'm pretty sure that's all I have to do. So anyway, I should wrap up this stream. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do today. So yeah, my day is far from over. So we're going to end it just a little tiny bit early here. Yeah, okay. You know what? The stream end is over there, but I should bring it up over here. That way. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to sit while we end. Why not? Sure beats being on the floor. All right, it's outro time. All right, so there's a real good chance we have found the problem with the DECWriter 2. It's most likely a blown Zener diode. A replacement has been ordered. I will be installing that on my own on Monday and then seeing if the problem goes away. Hopefully it does so that I can finish up a video about it, because I desperately need that to just be done, because then it can go back together, it can go away. It's not like disappearing from the office, it just needs to be not where it is. And that'll get me a video and space. So actually good progress today. Yeah, the oopsie was real scary. Hopefully it's not a problem. It's looking like maybe not, but we'll see. Hopefully I just like burned some glue out of some tape or something on there, but yeah. So yeah, YouTube algorithm Liberty your channel. Well, I'm glad to have you here, Porter Smith. We are ending though, because we've been live for 4 hours and I gotta go. So yeah, DECWriter is staying in the office. Yes, absolutely. I can't really raid. I'm not set up for that, and it's about to end. And I absolutely have to go, so I'm not gonna mess with that right now. But you guys can link Majenko's Twitch chat or Twitch stream. So yeah, I degreased the solenoid. That might have been it too. So we'll see. Anyway, yeah. So if you all enjoyed this stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon or get a shirt like this one, a printer that doesn't explode because it's made out of shirt. But that's it for now, and I will see you all next time.